when one is asked who is the Mamphara of the Year winner. And listen, the votes are out. They say it is Dr. Mashazi, but I have to jump in. Okay, I'm going to jump into the ring and say absolutely not. It, for me, is, yes, none other than the NDPP, Shamila Batoy. Let me explain why. Okay, she did the unprecedented thing. Okay, she ran over there to the president to report Chauke to be unfit for office. Unfit for office, she said. And then when she came to the Nkavinde inquiry and they said, we've got one or two questions that we want to clarify with you. And she says, no, 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 no. I'm just doing a presentation. Okay, there's no cross examination. Of course, that is unheard of. And then one would begin to wonder, but why wouldn't she want to be cross-examined? If this whole inquiry is based on her allegations, why would she not want to stand tall and speak with her chest? So, as the story goes, the cross-examination begins with Advocate Tembega Ngugatoy, And let me tell you something. It got too hot too fast. And in something we have never seen before, she refused to come back to the inquiry after lunch. She refused to answer any further questions. She said, you know what? She's going to come back next year. She needs to seek legal advice because it is too hot. But why all of a sudden has her tune changed? Why? Let me introduce you to this witness who sent her a damning email that would change her legacy. I wouldn't say career because technically she's about to retire in a few days. So the inquiry comes back on the 25th of January 2026. She is scheduled to retire on the 26th of January 2026. My goodness, the timing is overwhelming. Now, let me just give you a backstory because I think it's important for us to start with what happened way back in the early 2000s. Yep. And how in 2019 she received an email that she says she never saw. But let's go to the behind the scenes.
My colleague Mzilikazi Wa Africa and I have been trying to get to the bottom of the story for the past 5 years.
Okay, this is General Johan Boysen.
One of Johan Boysen's squads, the Cato Manor Organized Crime Unit, was staffed by people close to him. I have been given access to the place where the Cato Manor unit was based. It's in one of the poorest, most violent areas of the city. The organized crime unit was armed with high-powered assault rifles, and its members were regularly drilled in how to use them. 27 officers who worked here are now facing 116 charges, including 28 of murder. Among the evidence now in the hands of the authorities is a video from 2004 of a suspect being tortured.
Now, in present day, this video was played for Shamila Batoy inside Pagati within the Nkabinde inquiry, and she said she had never seen it before. And they said to her, ma'am, it was emailed to you, okay, in 2019. And then she said, no, I don't read my emails, and then she goes into full Mamphara mode. And she says, I don't read my emails, especially when her deputies are CC'd, then that means that they will handle it. So then when the deputy received the email, they forwarded it off to the KZN NPA. And then the KZN MPA saw the email and they responded to the whistleblower, who is Aris Danikas, by the way. And they said to him, oh, if you think that a crime is being committed, yeah, we're the NPA, but we don't really care. Go ahead and go to your nearest police station and open up a case against Major General Boysen. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Remember, this is all taking place in 2019. The witness, or should I say, the eyewitness who turned whistleblower, had to leave the country, return to his country of birth, which is Greece, and then he is being told to go to the nearest police station, which is the SAPS, right? There's no SAPS offices or police station increase, which means he has to get on a plane, come back to South Africa, the South Africa that he fled in fear for his life because he was being threatened by Major General Boysen, allegedly, according to the witness. So he is now reaching out to the top office and saying, I need help. This is what is happening to me as a witness. And the NPA and KZN says, we do not care. Okay, let's continue watching on.
The blurry mobile phone footage shows a naked suspect being in turn humiliated, beaten, and suffocated by Cato Manor detectives. This torture video was shot by police reservist Ari Danikas. He fled South Africa in fear for his life from his former colleagues in 2008.
I was invited by one of Boysen's high-ranking officers, and we entered a room where there were two Africans. That was the very first time I viewed the methods of the unit. Those two Africans were naked, stripped naked, tied up, and they were beaten. And they were hitting them on the ribs. And so we hit them on the ribs, so we don't hit them on the face, so we don't leave marks.
He has turned whistleblower after 10 years of mixing with the alleged death squad. He showed him a video that he took of his men torturing the suspect, and Boysen didn't act.
I remember his exact words: "They're killing whites, they're destroying this country, and we had to do something about it." And that's how we're getting confessions. We get the job done. That was always the case. We get the job done.
If you look at this photo, you can see that if this man here who was holding this gun when he was shot, his blood was supposed to be on top of his gun. But look, if you look at here, is the gun that is on top of the blood, meaning that someone planted the gun there on the scene on top of his blood.
If you look at the cases, you'll see that those guys were shot execution style. It was standard procedure for every member in the Cato Manor unit. If you shoot a suspect and there's a problem, it's not justifiable, all you do is take a firearm, shoot a few times in the air, take the firearm, whap it, hold it in his hands, and there you go. You had a gun. I shot him. And they could get away with murder. And they could get away with murder.
All this information was provided to Shamila Batoy in 2019. Do you see why I'm saying she is the Mamphara of the year? Not even the year, of the decade. Because how does she say, I did not get this email? Listen, Ari Danikas is a very detail oriented individual. Okay, he has an entire website that outlines all the atrocities that he is putting to Major General Boysen and the Cato Manor unit, but we're not there, okay? We are here at the email that he sent to Shamila Batoy. As you can see, there is the gun planting tendencies. And I say tendencies as in plural because how many times have we heard of the cases where they say, no, there was a firearm, no, there was a firearm, and these firearms are being planted. It is the continuous I would say template, blueprint. When suspects are getting arrested, is this a desperation from the police to have somebody arrested? And we see now how the climate is with the arrest, or should I say, no, not the arrest, the unaliving of DJ Juarez, the unaliving of Witness D, Marius. Nothing was done when a whistleblower sent detailed emails, including with evidence of witness intimidation. Yeah, witness intimidation, as well as evidence of the allegations against Major General Boysen. But Shamila Batoy pushed it to the back of the burner and said, I never read the email. I never read the email. Well, my deputies read the emails, and if they're CC'd, then I don't check it. They're supposed to handle it. Where is the follow-up process? There is no process, and this is the top office of the NPA. You see, Shamila is like a CEO of a company. How is she having a hands-off approach? No follow-up, no protocols, nothing. She is not telling us anything other than that there is some high-level dun-dunness that she does when checking her emails. And this email fell through the cracks. But the good news is the internet never forgets. And while she was being cross-examined, this whistleblower, Ari Danikas, came out and sent an email, reached out to Andrew Chauke's legal team and said, listen, I've got a lot to tell you about the Mamphara of the year. Let's continue watching. I'll be back with the rest of my commentary.
And after killing, the Cato Manor officers liked to party. Prosecutors allege that Cato Manor members took sides in fights between rival taxi associations. Johan Boysen has always maintained that, as regional commander, he did not know in detail what his officers were doing.
There's Boysen, there's another member, and me. We fly with the police chopper to a crime scene. Everywhere you go to, you hardly have any survivors. All you have is dead people. And always Boysen will be there. Every big operation, high-profile case, Boysen will be there. If he's far away, he get in the chopper, he fly there.
Ari Danikas claims that Johan Boysen knew exactly what his officers were doing and would visit crime scenes in order to remove evidence of wrongdoing.
Hi, is that General Boysen? Hi, good, how are you?
In 2013, I called General Boysen and put Ari's allegations to him.
News again. I'm trying to kick that over, but you guys don't give me a break. We received some allegations from Danikas. He said he showed you video footage on his cell phone of people being tortured, and he showed it to you, and that you didn't do anything about it. That's a blatant lie. We've got footage that doesn't say that he showed it to me, Stefan. Okay.
He'll go there to manage the scene because Boysen was a master crime scene investigator.
We all already know how good some police are at denying. What they don't count on is that there is these things called video footage. And unfortunately for Shamila Batoy, or should I say Boysen, Major General Boysen, is that Ari Danikis, the whistleblower, who is now residing in Greece after fleeing from South Africa for fear of his life, for exposing the Cato Manor unit for their tactics, which is shoot to end the life. But so basically, this is the next clip I'm about to play is another video that was played inside Pagati within the Nkabinde inquiry, and the video is quite graphic and gruesome. Ironically, the quality at the Nkabinde inquiry was pretty bad, so this is a clearer video, although I'm going to make it black and white just because YouTube doesn't like these kind of videos, okay? But I'm playing it just because it was not clear in the Nkabinde inquiry. So let's get into it.
But there is a video that does put Johan Boysen firmly at the center of the action and raises serious questions about his behavior. One night, the Cato Manor squad was in a shootout with a gang of suspected robbers. Ari Danikas was with Boysen when he got the call.
Police sirens, we drive to the crime scene.
Ari started filming on his mobile phone as officers stood over one badly wounded man.
He was moving in a pool of blood, shouting, tried to get up. The people were talking to him in Afrikaans, making fun of him.
Ari claims the men who were shot were lured into a trap with the help of an informer.
The unit was a death squad.
Johan Boysen denies that the Cato Manor unit was a death squad and claims that an ambulance was called for the man.
Danikas.
So the full video is available on YouTube channel for Al Jazeera, and I encourage you to go watch it just because you're going to be able to watch the full clips. And also, again, like I said, I'm highlighting the clips that were played in court because they were not very clear when they were played inside, not in court, when they were played inside the inquiry, but I find that they are much clearer here. And viewer discretion is advised. Don't go watch them if you cannot they're very graphic, okay? Do not watch if you are unable to stomach that. Let's continue on watching what Shamila Batoy did not read in her emails.
Claims you were present when you deliberately allowed this man to bleed to death before calling an ambulance.
That I deny in the strongest possible terms. Arrival day. I was told that the ambulance had already been summoned.
Boysen's girlfriend, Captain Adele Sonicus, can also be heard on the recording. Harry Danikas has refused to return to South Africa to testify, fearing he would be killed.
And his favorite saying was, I can make people disappear. He's known for that. I can make people disappear.
20 years after the end of apartheid, for many poor black South Africans, police brutality remains a part of day-to-day life.
I have to absolutely agree with that statement. How many times do you hear about police brutality, police torturing of people who are not poor South Africans, poor black South Africans, that is. But with that said, let me know if you agree that Shamila Patoy is the Mamphara of the year, or do you agree with the Sunday Times version, which is that it is Dr. Mashazi? And I know I owe you a Dr. Mashazi recap video. We're definitely going to do this during the holiday break. And as well, I'm actually going to recap a couple of some of the Madlanga Commission inquiry witnesses that I didn't cover actively when they were actively on the stand. That also includes the ad hoc committee. So it's going to be quite busy. So please remember to like, to comment, to subscribe. Like, comment, and subscribe. I absolutely love it when you do. So what I'm going to do in the next video, I'm actually going to cover Ogwazi Lovo. I know I've been teasing on that video, but it's time. Okay, it's time. I'm just still putting a few pieces together because I think justice for Ogwazi, okay, Ogwazi Lovo, and all victims of all this brutality, police planting the weapon, especially for those who are unable to cover their legal cost, hire ballistic experts in their defense to prove that, hey, this firearm was planted. Patricia Mashali once said, prisons are built for the poor. And I always found when she said that, that was quite a profound statement. It was eye-opening. And I have to agree with it. Do you agree? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And who is your Mamphara of the year? Let's catch up in the comment section. I absolutely love to engage with you there. And I think we can now engage with audio. I think I can reply to your comments with audio. So I'm going to test that out. I haven't actually seen it on my YouTube. I'm going to update my YouTube, but I know it is now a feature that is available and I'm so excited to use it. So don't miss out getting a personal voice note response from yours truly. I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.
Let's just wait for counsel to take us to where he was.
Chairperson,
because we interrupted him with the question.
Yes.
Chairperson, I had actually been interrupted, with all due respect. I was answering counsel.
No. I'm saying he can remind us of the question he asked you when we interrupted your answer.
I have the question written down, Chairperson, and
No, he can ask it.
Okay.
Thank you. Advocate Patoy, I think just read what you want.